is called Tom-san, my name Tom, Tom-san Soccer Techniques, which basically empowered kids to be able to practice on their own. And you can imagine it's going on every single day for 14 years. Also being featured in Japan's #1 comic book called Kono Comic, 1.2 million copies per month, every month, 2 full pages. Just always talking, making the entry level for the sport technical. If you go around to most parks in the world, here in the United States, on a weekend, you'll find them filled with little kids, fathers, mothers, and they're kicking the ball back and forth. So the entry point for the game for 3, 4, 5-year-olds is kicking or shooting. I did an experiment, not an experiment, what happened was is that I've been a technical coach for quite a long time, and I have 2 children of my own. And in 2006, I had a complete rethink of development. I was doing an event for one of my sponsors at Adidas, and I was signing these little tiny miniature balls from the World Cup, German World Cup, and I was giving them to kids. And the proverbial ball, so to speak, fell right in my lap. While I was holding the small ball, I thought, wow, my boy had just started walking. I thought, small ball, small foot, small body. I asked the Adidas guys to send me a box of these balls, and 16 balls arrived at my house. I put 2, 3 balls in every room. And from day one, when my boy would step up to address the ball, I would discourage him from kicking.
How old is he?
He's 2 years old.
Okay,
one years old. He says one would start working. And I discouraged him from kicking, and I encouraged him to just start pulling the ball back with the sole of his feet. And more importantly, learning how to protect the ball from a very young age. And what I did was, I documented his development. Not just his, but my second boy's as well. I was shocked to see the pace of acceleration of how good they both became technically. So I put together a presentation, and again, this happened mostly inside the living room because, and I'm sure some of you have children, a child between the ages of 0 and 5, their whole life is in the living room. You can't let the child, the mother, father, whoever the caretaker is, let them out of line of sight. So I made these balls basically part of the environment, call them a favorite toy or what have you. But just from that experience, and that was the entry level of teaching my kids, so I documented it. I put a presentation together showing, and I started connecting so many dots. I started reading national curriculums from countries and found that the first time the kids come on the radar screen is between 6 and 9. They call it the discovery phase. They build characteristics, clumsy, lack of motor skills, a short attention span. So play fun games related to soccer. So a lot of people don't expect or imagine that kids can learn things like that. So I started challenging that. But now I'm saying, no, we have to have a rethink, because kids as young as 2, 3, 4, 5, and if any of you have seen my presentation, it's pretty compelling when you see what can a 3-year-old do with a football, or a 4-year-old do with a football. And I took this presentation around the world, the pinnacle of which Ryan Giggs from Manchester United had heard about it and asked me to come to Manchester to see the presentation. I showed it to him. He asked me to show up to his restaurant the next day, and he bought Gary Neville, Phil Neville, Paul Scholes, and Nicky Butt. And I showed them the presentation. The German Bundesliga asked to see it as well. I sent a delegation to my hotel in Beijing, which included Karl-Heinz Riedel, World Cup champion. So I'm not saying this to pat myself on the back, but I've been going around now in the world. Recently in Geneva, I presented to 50 technical directors from UEFA, including the academy directors of Ajax, Feyenoord, some of the biggest stuff in the world. And we're finding there is a major gap in football or soccer development that people have not understanding how players develop. We think that the great players in the world, that lightning is striking in a bottle. When they see videos of my kid at 5 or 6, they think, whoa, he's the next Messi. No, he's not. What it is that the expectations for players at 5 or 6 is so low. When they actually see some kid that's good, it's like, wow. So these are just
fantastic.
Sorry to kill